Did you know the city of Denton is the Halloween capital of Texas? Wow, that's pretty exciting. Today we are joined by two gentlemen who are putting in a lot of work along with all their team to make it. So Gary Packan is the Parks and Recs Director for the city of Denton, and Dustin Sternbeck is the Chief Communications Officer for the city of Denton. They're joining us today to tell us about where this idea came from, what we can expect this year, and what it's growing into, what to expect for many years to come. That's on today's episode of If You Didn't Know, Now You Know. Denton's got it all: the food, the music, the art, and of course the people. And behind every corner, there's a story worth sharing. And that's what this podcast is all about. Denton's best, one conversation at a time. I'm Brad, and this is If You Didn't Know, Now You Know. Welcome back to another episode of If You Didn't Know It, Now You Know. We're excited and very fortunate to be joined today by two guests. Gary Packan is the Director of Parks at Denton Parks and Recreation, and Dustin Sternbeck is the Chief Communications Officer for the City of Denton. Welcome, guys.
Thanks so much for having us.
Yeah,
sure.
Excited to discuss today. We're going to talk a lot about kind of what's coming up, what we're seeing right now here in the month of October, and the big Halloween festivities, and kind of Denton become the capital of Halloween.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
That's really cool. Gary is, like I said, is the Director of Parks and Rec for the City of Denton. He's been here since 2018, leading a team of about 100 full-time staff plus seasonal employees. Oversees all the parks administration, leisure services, planning, maintenance of Denton the city's parks, trails, and green spaces. Prior to that, you were with the city of Arlington.
That's correct.
For about 10 years.
Yep.
And really kind of got a diverse background. Where are you from?
Originally from Pittsburgh. It's my hometown.
Okay. So all Pittsburgh sports teams, that's your go-to?
Yeah, I grew up on the Steelers, Penguins, and the Pirates. So that makes up a lot about me. I definitely enjoy sports and traveling to see different sporting activities, that type of thing. Growing up, it's been something I've done my whole life.
Very cool. I've always thought that Pittsburgh is they're professional sports teams where they've all got the same colors. Is a pretty cool little trick there.
Yep, the City of Champions.
Is that what
the Penguins used to be blue and white, and they changed it in 1979 when the Pirates and the Steelers won the championships.
Ah.
So that's why they're all black and gold.
Okay. Just need an NBA team to round it out.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen.
Maybe not. So Dustin originally from Virginia, right?
Yeah, so born and raised Alexandria,
Virginia. So how long have you been at the City of Denton?
I'm coming up on 2 years, first week of October.
Okay, very cool. So prior to that, you were in Washington, D.C., spending about 15 years in public safety, and have still some responsibilities kind of wearing that hat, don't you?
Sure. So I actually was graduating West Virginia University for undergrad right around the time that 9/11 happened.
Oh,
and
wow.
that really kind of motivated me and inspired me to go into a career in public safety. And so from there, joined the fire department and then went over to the police side and found my way into some pretty significant responsibilities there in our nation's capital.
Yeah. And so you still do some work with the Justice Department, correct?
Yes, so I am a consultant, part of this group called the Mass Violence Advisory Initiative that is under the umbrella of the Department of Justice. So anytime there's a significant mass violence event that occurs across the country, a group of us go in and consult with community leadership on their best response actions.
Wow. That's quite a responsibility. Locally here, also you oversee all the city's marketing communications teams. You oversee Denton TV, as well as the Convention and Visitors Bureau, correct?
Yes, sir. And,
so what falls up under that CVB?
Yeah, so it's our tourism group. We're really trying to get folks to come experience what Denton has to offer. And certainly today's conversation is a perfect example of getting folks not only in the DFW Metroplex, but across the country and world to come to Denton for the 31 days of Halloween. And so really the responsibility of driving people to stay in our hotels, spend their money in town, and of course visit our retail store that we have on the square and get some merch.
Get some of that merch. There you go. I think this hat's from there. Yeah. Well, we're excited again, Gary, Dustin. Appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us, and excited to talk about that very thing. Primarily, the big events here in October. What's going on? So, I guess, Gary, my understanding, a little bit from an outsider perspective, is that Denton is we're trying to become the Halloween capital of Texas. Is that the idea? Is that the goal?
Oh, according to the state, we are the Halloween capital.
We
of
are
Texas.
now officially.
We are official. We're having a
Okay.
presentation to council on September 30th.
Yeah.
With some of our state reps, so we're looking forward to that. But yeah, this spring that happened, and now we have to own up to it.
Okay. Well,
Yep.
so 1 year under your belt, and you kind of already achieved that status. That's pretty interesting. Great story. So I'd love to hear kind of the origin and where the idea came from.
Yep.
And of course, we'll talk about where we're going with it. But where did we start? Where did it come from?
Yeah, so it actually started back in the summer of 23. We were working on some ideas to replace some old Christmas decorations.
Okay.
And we were actually doing some planning to really try to create a month-long activity for the November-December timeframe. So close down a street, maybe bring in an ice rink, have those types of activities going on. And the discussion was, we're going to have to do a lot to really catch up to some of our other neighboring communities, Grapevine, Frisco, McKinney, in regards to what they're already doing. Mm-hmm. Then later that fall, our assistant city manager, Christine Taylor, was at a conference and attended a session that was being done by Conway, South Carolina's city manager, in what they were doing for the holiday season,
right?
Halloween and Christmas. And she said, "Hey, check this out." So looked it up online, called the city manager, and he's been a great partner for us, moving forward. We go back and forth on a weekly basis on what we're doing, and we really kind of feed off each other. But he briefed me and really said, "Hey," he opened arms, gave us all these ideas. So we went back, we did some research online, went back and put together a proposal and say, "Hey, how about if we lean into Halloween like Grapevine leans into Christmas?"
Right.
No one is really living in that space, like we did last year, but everybody's in the Christmas business,
sure.
Right? How can we put the city in a place where no one else is capitalizing?
Differentiate yourself a little bit.
Yeah. So that's really how it started, and
that's cool.
We, instead of buying the Christmas decorations, we bought Halloween decorations.
Okay.
So that was our budget for last year.
Yeah.
And then we put together a pilot project with some ideas, talked to Marcom, and they asked for some additional funding, obviously, to market it.
Yeah.
And did a fantastic job of getting people here the first year. So between marketing it and getting the word out and then producing these placemaking and programming opportunities for people to come to Denton is really what made it happen last year.
And I'll add to that is you want to light a fire under your staff, give them the creative flexibility to come up with ideas and work on projects around a holiday season.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about, between his parks maintenance staff and just his crew and my team and really the local businesses and artist community, let's come together. Let's throw ideas out there how we can create these really cool experiences around a holiday, like Halloween that fits Denton really well.
Yeah, it does.
Man, you should feel the energy in that room as all these different ideas are bouncing off the wall, and it takes one little thing and it kind of builds off of it. And we're really proud to kind of say that we really work well together and complement each other's skill sets, but we're all about creating something that's like a very special memory for anybody that comes here.
That's cool. Well, I do think, Gary, like you say, there's plenty of cities that go all in on the Christmas and some other holidays, but the Halloween one does seem to fit Denton pretty good, doesn't it? It kind of fits our vibe a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, there were obviously we have Arts and Jazz at the beginning of the month and Day of the Dead at the end, so we really had two bookends.
You already had some big things already going,
and there were a lot of events going on. So we're like, our goal was to wrap our arms around everything that was going on.
Yeah.
And from a marketing standpoint, lift it up. But we really couldn't do it unless we got the businesses and the existing events to buy into it.
Right.
So earlier on in 24, we created a focus group of about 50 to 100 people that were influential business owners downtown on the square, event producers, that type of thing, and brought them all together and said, hey, here's the pitch. What do you think? And if this is going to be successful, we can help with the marketing at the 30,000 feet. We can help with the placemaking opportunities, but we really need you guys to lean into the events, because our original goal was to have 31 events. Something every single day that someone could partake.
Yeah.
By October.
That seemed like a big goal.
Yeah.
31
Yeah.
multiplied by 10.
Yes.
Big events, yeah.
When October hit, we had over 200 and we lost control.
Oh, wow.
Of the amount of events. So far this year, we're pushing 300. And that'll continue to grow. But it wouldn't be successful unless the businesses leaned into it and they helped spur on that initiative as well. So it's really been a community-built partnership.
Yeah.
And it turned out great. And for the first year, I mean, super proud of what everyone done. Obviously, looking back, there's things we do differently, things we can improve upon. But so far this year, it's been going great.
Well, that's awesome. So, yeah, that Day of the Dead, like you say, has been, I mean, that's kind of already a staple for Denton, for downtown Denton, and a great event. And so they kind of, that group kind of opened up and said, well, come on in and let's make this bigger. Was that a pretty big collaboration? I would think that's still a pretty big focal point of the entire month.
It is, both Day of the Dead and Arts and Jazz. Right. Our goal is to get, our ultimate goal, we lead off every meeting, is how do we get more people into your business?
Yeah.
And that includes how do we get more people into your event. So how can we attract more people to Arts and Jazz, Day of the Dead, to help them be successful too?
Yeah.
As well as all the businesses, because if everyone's making money, then everyone's happy, right? And we're getting people in there. Hopefully they're spending money in the hotels, our businesses, our restaurants, our bars, our retail shops.
It was a huge learning process for us last year. I mean, we didn't have any baseline data to go off of, like, here's how many people you should expect to, accommodate. I mean, we're throwing darts in the dark last year. And to Gary's point, I mean, it was a huge success. We saw over 660,000 people come to our downtown area. And you think they're coming here, how many business opportunities do we have out there?
Yeah.
And so as we went into this year, we have a little bit better idea of what to expect in the crowd sizes and the parking issues and the communication stuff. So we're really in a better place, with our business partners and the collaboration here. And, I'd hate to put a guess out there, but I'm hopeful that we're going to get over 1 million people.
Yeah. So that's awesome. That's really exciting. So how are you tracking that? Is that through the cell phone kind of data, or how you collect
There's cell phone data, and then we have, we use a company called Hello Lamppost, and we put a lot of ground decals out there, and it's really kind of a conversation starter. So when folks come, to the downtown area, they're going to see all these decals and boards, and you scan a QR code, and it kind of gives you a customized experience. So as soon as you step foot here, not only are you seeing the decorations everywhere and you're hearing music and feeling that energy, but you really have a customized experience, from the minute you arrive in Denton.
Wow. Do you have any idea, I mean, how does that compare to just the years before, Arts and Jazz and maybe Day of the Dead? Do you have numbers from that before?
Yeah. So first year event, it was easy for us to get started. So we used Placer AI to track some of that information. Okay. And we were able to see that we had an increase of 145,000 people than October of 23.
Okay.
So that gave us a really good baseline.
Okay.
We were very fortunate. We had 0 rain last year in the month of October. So obviously that could change population on a Saturday or a Friday night quite a bit. But looking at that data is really interesting to be able to see. We had as many people for the lunch rush hour than we had between like 9 and 11 p.m.
Is that right?
Yeah. So we're able to go.
Talking about like on a weekend?
At any point in time, like overall.
Wow.
So, lunch rush hour is a big deal for our downtown.
Sure.
And so we're able to go back to the business and say, hey, some of you close at 9. We need you to stay open because some people are just getting ramped up and getting here because, Halloween's a lot at dark. I mean, you could experience daytime Halloween and nighttime, totally different experiences, and you can come back and do both. But when you see that many people on the square, we need to capitalize off of that.
Sure.
So that's an economic development opportunity for us for sure.
Yeah. Well, we're part of the Fine Arts Restoration of the Fine Arts Theater, and that will be open. Well, knock on wood again, we'll be open for next year's Halloween events. But
looking forward to it. Yeah.
We're kind of thinking about it in that same way that this certainly won't draw that number of people, for any given show, but thinking about it in that way that, hey, retailers, restaurant owners, business owners, stay open a little bit later. Let's extend these hours out a little bit more as we get more traffic in a variety of ways to the downtown area. Let's liven this up a little bit longer.
I think we almost forced their hands because, before it was like, well, do we want to, extend our hours or have to pay staff to stay longer? We don't really know what we're getting.
Right.
Now they saw what they're getting, and I think
they're buying in.
They have bought in, and they're jumping in the deep end.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
That is really cool. Is this primarily kind of downtown? Is that where, all the events are really downtown, right?
Yeah, downtown is the heartbeat of our community, really. And not that we would turn anybody away that is anywhere in the city. But from a walkability standpoint, we're trying to create a space where people could come to the community, get out of their car, and just explore downtown.
Yeah.
And we're trying to purposely put things in areas to force people to other areas where they may not typically go.
Yeah.
So that's a continual work in progress to really try to spread the people out. The square obviously is the magnet.
Yeah.
But you can go down Hickory, you can go, south of the square, north of the square, east, in all directions, and really enjoy things from a placemaking standpoint.
And as we have worked with, other partners about programming, so really this is not you only need to come one day and you've experienced it at all. You could come different weekends and have different programming, see a comedy show, go to the Cirque du Horror tent. The Day of the Dead Festival, we have built programming throughout the month that, you will want to come multiple times to Denton. Yeah. And we've partnered with our hotels to create, staycation packages. Yeah. To where we've partnered with Uber in the hotels to give Uber credit. So that folks that want to stay in the hotels here in Denton, they have transportation taken care of, especially if you want to come down here and enjoy a couple of these specialty cocktails that our restaurants and bars are creating.
Very cool. No, it's exciting. So you mentioned hotels. I guess you probably have some numbers on the increased stays in hotels last year and probably some targets of what you're looking to do. I know hotel stays really drive a lot of that hotel and occupancy tax, right? That you can use some of that funding to kind of reinvest and make it bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, I think, to Gary's point earlier, last year was a learning process. And now we've engaged our hotels to really say, ask these folks if they are coming here specific for Halloween.
Try and track it a little bit more.
Yeah, let's get a better tracking in place so that we can make those adjustments and be better business partners. So this year, we've got dedicated hotel space each of our weekends and, throughout the weeks if folks want to come up here and stay during the week. But the tracking is an important piece, specifically as it ties into our hotel occupancy tax funding and allocating, future money to the Halloween festivities. So we're on it this year.
There you go.
Yeah, last year our focus was to get a critical mass of people here from DFW.
Yeah.
Realizing that people may not have the opportunity to plan that quickly ahead of time to schedule a long weekend or whatever and stay for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
Because we didn't really launch it until July of what actually was going on.
Right.
So last year's focus was, hey, let's get people from DFW here. And we saw people from all 50 states. Someone came from Sweden. just because they saw it, I don't know, TikTok or whatever. But
that's incredible.
So the game plan was year 2 is really start focusing on those hotel stays, and that's what Dustin's team has done this year.
Wow.
With trying to get people to come for a long weekend, couple days here and there, stay for a football game, whatever.
We've really branched out this year for our marketing, strategies and tactics. So looking at some of the other larger Texas cities, and then even up in Oklahoma City. But we saw the power of just organic social media and how it influences people's behavior.
Yeah.
I mean, to get close to 150,000 more people in year 1 to come to the city, and we primarily relied on just social media advertising and marketing. It influenced a lot of people's behavior, and there's so many people you would run into out there and like my wife just saw this stuff on TikTok, so we had to come. And it was awesome.
That's really cool. Yeah. So businesses that are in the downtown area, or maybe they're not, they're probably looking for good, tangible ways to get involved. It sounds like, obviously, if you've got a storefront in the downtown area, hey, there's going to be a million opportunities. Lots of people open your doors up, put on your own event or a sale or whatever. But if you're not located downtown and you're a business, like, I want a piece of this pie, how can I get involved? What can they do?
Yeah, I mean, we're open to any business to be involved with us.
Yeah.
We've talked to movie theaters about being involved.
Right.
We have our Denton boys baseball is going to have a baseball tournament. So there is really something for everybody.
That's a great
It doesn't
idea.
have to be always downtown, although that's the focus.
Right.
But we're looking really to take the community to pick up and run with it. I mean, there's a homecoming dance that's based on Halloween theme this year.
Okay.
So everyone's kind of picking it up
Yeah.
and carrying it, which is great because it's going to continue to build that momentum to be the capital of Halloween.
And there's sponsorship opportunities, right?
That's right.
That's a good way to get involved as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good. So, what any secrets that you can spoil for us? That any really cool things that people should be thinking about checking out this year?
I mean, it's all really cool experiences.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I don't want to give too much love to one thing, but I think if you paid attention last year, we developed some stories and experiences around a couple of key characters.
Okay.
And we partnered with a few of our middle school students this year to start teasing out what to expect in year 2. And we're leaning into this mad scientist character, and we did some promo shoots up at Free Play. We've got this really cool experience down outside of City Hall in this new maze that we are building and collaborating with the local artist Dan Black.
Dan's great. I've actually, if anybody's following him on Instagram, they're kind of seeing some sneak peeks of what he's working on. It looks pretty cool.
And another one of my team members here for the city, David Baker. He's another local artist that has just knocked it out of the park, on all the different facets of Halloween. There's a sign that is fixed to the brick wall up there that's got a purple monster.
I saw the purple monster. Are we trying to name him? Is that what's going on?
There is a contest open right now. We're probably going to look at the top 3 to 5 names and put it back out to the community for a vote as we lead up to October 1st.
Okay.
We've got a couple in-house favorites, but I don't want to,
So this is those that haven't seen it. It's a purple monster hanging on the wall over there on the east side of the square, right where the mini mall burned down, unfortunately, a few years ago. So that's a good use of that wall and kind of a way to activate it a little bit. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, another thing, last year we had about 15 kind of experiences or placemaking opportunities. We're at about 30 this year, so we've really doubled it.
Wow.
And we've made a lot of enhancements to some things, just adding little nooks and crannies, little Easter eggs in various places. So just to kind of expand that experience for people visiting downtown.
That's awesome.
But we're trying to tap into the nostalgic piece of Halloween and the creative side with our local artist community. It was really cool last year to hear people say, especially around the phone booths. I mean, how many kids have never seen a phone booth before, and then we've outfitted into these characters and sent people on a scavenger hunt. And it's like, I guess the biggest compliment was, I've never experienced this anywhere before. So we're not trying to create things that you've done in other places.
Right.
This is all really original artwork experiences. That's what we're going for. I think we have the community appetite for that. And really, we have the creative flexibility and support from our city leadership to kind of run with these things. And that's just been very refreshing, I guess, in a space of where Gary and I are, and the support, not only from city leadership, but the community and the artists here. I mean, it's taken off, and it's been a fun project.
Yeah, we couldn't do without volunteers and the creative people, whether it's creative staff that helped with construction, design, whatever, or the volunteers or the artist community. They've really tapped into this, and we've tapped into their skills to make it what it can be. And
we have just such great people, and the community. That's what I love about being here is, the community is so strong. And like you say, if we can find a couple of things to really align ourselves on and link arms, and like this is a great example. I do see it. I feel the energy, and obviously I'm a little bit of an outsider on this, but I'm just kind of been observing. Wow, you feel the energy, and I think, like you say, Dustin, having the support from the city administration and the council, obviously, I mean, they're directing funds towards this, and so that's a big deal.
It's a lot of work, and so come November, we hunker down. We get some, we get extra rest on the weekends, and it's a year-long planning and execution process. I mean, a lot goes into it. The fatigue starts to settle in bits and pieces, throughout the year, but the energy is real. You feel it as we kind of are leading up to October. I mean, the excitement amongst the staff and the city, it's a real thing.
Yeah. We took 2 weeks off last year.
You're going to deserve
in the middle of November.
You might get 3 this year. Yeah. Well, I'm envisioning we need a really good thriller flash mob dance and music thing going on. We got something like that going?
We got something planned.
Okay.
Yeah, so
pay attention. Okay, cool.
You may have tipped a little secret.
Oops, I literally didn't know anything about it, but that feels appropriate. So, man, this is going to be fun. I guess planning on this indefinitely, into the future, next 3, 5, 10 years. What do you see? What do you kind of see this turning into?
Yeah, the capital of Halloween is a 10-year commitment from the state.
Okay.
And then we have to go back and represent, renew, that type of thing. So I think we're committed for the next 10 years to make that happen. Obviously, we're going to take it year by year and live and learn. Look back and see what we could do better, see what we could do differently. Obviously, the more ROI that we can show to city council, the mayor, city administration, the community of, hey, this is how we're using this resource to reinvest in the hotels, and in return, the businesses, so they can all profit from it. We went through our finance department and looked at the ROI of last year, and we received, as in the city, about $210,000 in taxes, of sales tax and mixed beverage tax.
Okay.
So if you reverse engineer that, that's about $15 million in sales.
Wow.
That happened in the month of October last year.
Okay.
That the finance department, through a consultant, was able to feel comfortable saying that is fairly accurate. I mean, it's not going to be 100%. But that's a big number for the first year.
Yeah.
Without really focusing on the hotels, which is Marcom's focus this year. So if we can continue to build that momentum and maintain that pace, that's a great story for us. And we're going to track that moving forward so we can help tell the story.
It's also like a fine line, because you want to bring all these people here, but you don't want the crowd to be so large that the people of Denton can't enjoy the experience first and foremost.
Right.
And so we're really in tune with that, because when I first relocated to Texas, they were like, you got to go to Grapevine for Christmas. I went down there, and I couldn't find parking. The crowd was crazy, and I just left. And so I've always kept that in the back of my mind for this particular piece.
That makes sense.
It's great because I live right now in walking distance, so I can walk over to downtown and to the square. But we want the people of Denton to enjoy this just as much as we want to be driving folks from that, from other communities to our city. Yeah. This, at the end of the day, is first and foremost about Denton and highlighting the artists, showcasing the community, and just really kind of bringing people into that downtown hub here that we have.
Yeah, it's a great area. There are so many different businesses and artists and musicians that thrive and exist and do downtown, and that people don't know and see every day. So I think getting that drive of local visitors to come in, even from just outside of Denton, just Denton County, even just say, okay, I'm going to think about going to downtown Denton for the weekend. That's pretty cool. I think what y'all are doing, you're onto something. I've got a feeling you're onto something here. But knowing that you've made the 10-year commitment to the state I think is important for everybody to understand as well. That this isn't, it's not going away. It's not a one and done kind of, it's a lot of work. We're not going to do it again. You're committed to at least 10 years, and so I think that could get people thinking about, I want a retail space on the square or in downtown. Yeah, I mean, I look forward to the business throughout the year, but man, I'm going to kill it in October. If I'm on the square and open for business in October, that's going to make my year for me.
Yeah, it's a great point. In fact, I just talked to a business yesterday that was talking. Obviously, Christmas, November, December is a big month for our businesses. During the summer, it's slower. The students aren't around. It's hot, and maybe not many people outside. But October really extended that holiday season for them.
That makes sense, yeah.
So that was a big deal to some businesses.
Very cool.
And in our planning process, if we're like, okay, we have this thing for 10 years, I mean, in the perfect world, Gary and I would have an endless amount of money. Our budgets would be ballooned to millions and millions of dollars. But really, as we kind of think this thing through, like, okay, year one, how do we build off year one, year two, and then the subsequent years afterwards? I mean, we're looking at this thing with a 10-year plan.
Yeah.
And kind of those partnerships that we're building, and, what decor we want to buy, where do we want to focus and kind of build each and every year. Like, adding all those different elements. I mean, this thing is it's a fine oil machine here, right?
You mentioned about economic development. While it's a month long of 300 special events going on, it's a giant special event. It's really an art project.
Yeah.
Because there's so many a lot of the stuff. I mean, we've bought stuff from Home Depot and online, but there's a lot that's homemade that we've, as staff and as a community and as an artistic community, have figured out, how can we do this? How can we do something different? So it's an art project, but it's also an economic development project. Mm-hmm. Clearly, by the numbers we just talked about, it's bringing in a lot of money to our businesses and to our community to help them be stable and to be successful.
Yeah.
I think there'd be an uprising with our artist community if we, bought everything off the shelf somewhere.
No.
And truthfully, what they're doing is probably better than
it's so much better and so much more creative. That I know what Dan's coming up with is going to be amazing, for example. So, wow, this is really exciting, guys. Thanks for joining with me today and give us a little more preview and understanding kind of the history and what we have to look forward to. Obviously, you talked about social media. Where should people go to kind of really get a good glimpse of what's planned or what's
first and foremost, the best way to be involved and stay connected is go to dentonhalloween.com. We have a website dedicated to the month of activities and ways that you can kind of help out and see what's going on. So dentonhalloween.com is the first stop for anybody. If you just want to come down here and explore, we have a number of engagement opportunities down here through ground decals or stop into our visitor center. They are a wealth of information. They'll have maps to hand out. You'll be able to connect with people to whether you're here for a food item or an immersive experience. They'll be able to point you in the right direction. And then, of course, we want you to take pictures. We want you to bring your family down here. We want you to spend time just exploring our downtown area here in the city. Post your pictures, share it with your friends and family. We look forward to welcoming everybody.
Very good. Guys, thanks for joining us, and we're really looking forward to all the events and what's in store for the next years to come. You each get to pick a hat here. These are Norman Roscoe hats. Take your pick of hats there.
You first.
Go for it, Gary. It's like a college,
There's one
sports decision.
Yeah.
I'll take this one.
There you go.
Hat.
Okay.
Look at that.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, do it. kill it this year. We're all rooting for you, and we're gonna look forward to kind of all the fun and festivities and thinking. I think for all of us that are listening, we're probably starting to get some ideas of ways that we can probably get our own business involved and in the mix. And so I think that's part of it, right? Let's all work together and build this thing into something really great.
And before we break, don't think you have to do it alone. We are always a resource. We're always available to collaborate and kind of just throw ideas off each other. I think some of our best items and ideas have been just sitting around a table like this and just spitfiring things. So never feel like you have to go through that walk alone. We're here. We're ready to talk Halloween and build something special.
All right. Thanks for joining us today on If You Didn't Know It, Now You Know.